Guys, this full episode is now live, linked down below in the description. Go and check out the full entire episode with me, Blake, and Harrison Neville. It's down below.
People ask me too, like, especially with some of the videos that I've had, like, do really well. Like, I think my most viewed video is my fake Mars yard video from StockX, which I don't know if you've seen it, but
I think he told either you told. Did you just mention that before off camera?
No.
Or did he? Maybe I think you might have mentioned it.
I think we talked
about it. Yeah, we were talking about it.
So long story short, if you watch my video, then you'll get most of the details, but like I'll give some behind the scenes maybe. So in 2018, I ordered a pair of Mars yards, Tom Sachs Mars yards off StockX, paid $1,650 for them. And that was like kind of the going rate at the time. They were like $1,400 to $2,000. And I literally that's a huge grail for me. Probably my number one sneaker that I've ever wanted. And really it was the 2012 pair, not the 2017 pair, but that's the one that they re-released. And so I bought them off StockX, $1,650 I paid. I saved months to buy them. Okay. So in that perspective, like that shoe meant that much that I was going to save the money and pay $1,650 instead of paying $200 and getting a fake pair. Or UA, whatever I call them, fake. And so I bought them. They came in. The box was damaged. When I took it out of the StockX shipping box, the box was damaged. So I took a bunch of pictures and emailed StockX and said, hey, thanks for shipping me the shoes, but the box is damaged. And they ended up giving me like free shipping or something on the next order, or $50 back or free shipping, something like that. And so luckily for me, later on the road, I was able to get a refund. So,
but you didn't find out.
Yeah. So I got the shoes.
This is a headline.
I got
Blake Yarbrough scammed by StockX. I'm just saying, it might be a coup. You might, like, I know how to title these things, right? But this is a true statement.
It might work out for you.
Yeah, but you're gonna. They did resolve it, right?
Yeah. So
okay,
all right. So the way it went, and I've gotten a lot of different kinds of feedback based off the way it all went down. So essentially I paid $1,650. I immediately cut off the StockX tag because I was like, this is a shoe I'm trying to keep, whatever. I immediately cut it off, wore the shoes within 24 hours because that was a grail to me. And when I started collecting, I'd be like too afraid to like wear a shoe. This was like, no, I'm going to wear it and just beat it. Mm-hmm. Even though it was expensive, it's like, that's how I'm going to get my value out of that money. And so I wore it for 2 years. So from 2018 to 2020, I wore it everywhere. I stepped in dog shit in it. Like everything you could do to a shoe, I did in that shoe. And then some things happened in 2020 that I needed like cash, like today, like fast. And so that shoe, out of all the shoes in my collection, was worth the most because from 2018 to 2020, they went from like $1,600 to like $3,000 to $4,000 for a DS pair, new pair. So it was like, okay, well, my used pair is still like decent condition. Like I could probably get like $2,000 for them, even used. So it was like, all right, cool. So I sold them on GOAT used. Okay, used shoe on GOAT, sold them. GOAT comes back, sends me an email. They're fake, and it was like, I had no idea. And like maybe if I would have, researched it more, known more, but that shoe is so rare, it's hard to really find a lot of information on it. Yeah. I wore it to SneakerCon events.
Is this the one like the
brown and red? Yeah. Before that.
The brown.
Tom Sachs.
Yeah. Tom Sachs. Yeah. Okay, I know you're talking about. That's the one that T. Blake used to always talk about.
Yeah. So he's got both. He's got the OG pair and the So it's it's a really rare shoe. I thought I had a real pair. I trusted StockX essentially. Yeah. And
it's all about trust. That's what we always say. What makes a shoe real or fake in our head is trust.
Yeah. If you don't get it from the retail, if you don't get it from Nike, Jordan, Adidas, whatever, then you don't.
You're just trusting.
You're trusting somebody else.
Yep.
I sold them on GOAT, right? They tell me they're fake, and this is not good.
I remember this unfolding because we have like a group text with our like Nick and everything, and he
because in your head you're like, do I expose this? Because can these motherfuckers sue me? Like it's like a lot of things like them. It's just a lot of things I know you're going through your head because like I'll be thinking quick to jump and do it too, but you know how these companies are nowadays.
So I bought them before I did YouTube. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, I started collecting shoes 10 or 12 years ago, whatever. And so I just bought these because I liked them. I didn't have a YouTube channel when I bought them. So it wasn't like, there's no like, so many people think it's like I did the craziest setup of all time for a video, but it's not true. So I just bought them because I really liked the shoe, wore them. Then I started a YouTube channel. Then they ended up being fake, and no, Goat didn't like switch them out because it was a worn shoe. So like if I have a worn shoe, obviously I'll know that it's mine that they ship back.
Yeah. So
Goat ships them back to me. They were like nice about it. They were like, it wasn't intentional. You weren't trying to like scam anybody, whatever. So they shipped them back to me. So then it was like, well, what do I do now? So I needed that money still and whatever. So I was able to get the money other ways, but I made a video about it and reached out to StockX. Luckily, like I was saying earlier, I had emails from where I had complained about the box being damaged. So like the day they shipped in, let's say it was the 24th of the month, I had pictures that I had taken like on my camera roll in my emails that showed that's when I opened the box, the day it was delivered, the box was damaged, whatever. And through those photos that I had, I was able to use authentic photos of sneakers and boxes and compare and prove to StockX that they were fake. So I'll agree with anybody out there like trying to hit up StockX or Goat or anybody like that and like ask for a refund or whatever. They're going to shut down 98% of the arguments out there because it's just like your word versus theirs.
And it took a lot of, you had to do a lot of go through a lot of connections to like get like correct to get even StockX to like consider this. Like,
so I kind of like lied to start it off, sort of. So like when you go on StockX platform, if you try to like complete a request or whatever, it asks like, did you get your shoes within the last 3 days? And it's like, no, I got these 2 years ago. Yeah. So I clicked no, and it immediately like shuts you down. Yeah. So it was like, okay. So I went back through and said like, yeah. Then I typed out like a well-written like email of like what happened. And then they ended up like emailing me back, and I was able to like talk to like an actual person. Yeah. And just like really explain it. And I think for them, like it just made sense that it was like, hey, like he has literally all the proof that you could possibly have that he got these from us, and they're not authentic. Even though like I wore them and everything like that, it's like the shoe that I originally got from them was fake. And so they gave me a refund, $16.50, which I'm super blessed.
So, because there's a lot of dates here, but this is a big thing.
Okay.
This is a big thing. This could definitely travel the airways in a way. Just the story. Because, Blake, to ask the question, Blake, did you get your refund and you wasn't a YouTuber and a normal individual, or was you already a YouTuber making these videos at the time? Because what I would like to hear is the audience that's hearing it is this guy was a normal, no content creator or nothing and got his money back, or was you a content creator at the time? Because it could play a difference, or people would say it would play a difference. I'm just curious.
People definitely say it plays a difference. So when I bought the shoe, I was not on YouTube.
Okay.
When I got a refund, it was 2 years later, and I had started a YouTube channel.
Okay. Did you make a video on it?
I did.
Okay, so you showed them though too. So,
but I didn't. But
you, I mean, it's like what's 100 subs, 200, 500,000. What were you? 15.
When I made that video, I don't know, like 5,000, 10,000.
All I could say, because I feel like that story, in my opinion, shows that hey, if you got your facts right, and you make you might have to make a video about it to get your money back, you know?
I mean, and that's an issue that it shouldn't be like that. But this is a rare case because it's 2 years ago. So like if you were a store and you sold off of Two Wild's closet and 2 years later somebody said you got that shoe that you sold them was fake, you're going to be like,
yeah, they're going to need a lot of proof to prove that that's the same shoe.
And so it's a unique scenario. And like most of the times, like even like you have to do a lot to prove that. And so I think it's justified him making the content though, because that's a ton of money, and that's a shoe that's like super expensive and rare. That was his dream shoe. And what sucks is that the value of it later is double. Like you bought another pair, and it was double what you had originally paid.
I paid $3,000.
So like double what he originally paid, and at least he got his money back.
Oh, they gave me
back what I originally paid, which was $16.50.
Yeah. Nah, I feel like the reason why is because, people will be like, well, they only did it because you're a content creator. But I feel like with 5,000 subscribers, I'm not to knock the number. I just don't feel like it's a significant, like it's not like 100,000 or 50.
I think the video at the time.
Do you think the video had any type of?
It had like 100K views maybe.
Oh, it did?
It had a decent amount of views.
I'm pretty sure you sent that to them like, hey, look.
No, I didn't. So, okay, so that's another thing is like, oh, they saw your video. That's why you got a refund. 100% truth. I never discussed my video with them ever. Okay. Not one time. So maybe they saw it, but I don't know.
Because like at the end of the day,
I would assume that they did.
At the end of the day, like regardless, like I still buy from StockX, still sell on it.
Yeah, me too.
This shit's still happening.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying? Like
you don't buy resale. So what do you buy for StockX?
I mean, I got the Kobe's from there. Man,
I don't buy resale.
So I've met
exposed Tony D. Wild.
I've met different people that have. But you said employed by StockX.
Yeah.
And off camera or not, saying names and things like that. Like they had issues back in the day when they were starting up. I think that me personally, my opinion is that their growth as a company was like too quick.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how are you going to, if I'm StockX and I'm trying to hire people to authenticate shoes, like if I hire you guys might do a pretty good job because shoes, but I'm trying to hire somebody honestly for like, not too much money. Like you would want a lot of money. You'd want a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So they've got to hire somebody, for a low enough amount wage that makes sense as a company. Yeah. But also they are hoping that person does a good job authenticating. So
and they're also hoping though that they live in the city that they're running their company out of.
Yeah.
They're not going to fly a person from California that's an authenticator to come to their office.
Now they would like.
You think so? Well,
if a new app came up, they would probably offer
now they got
somebody from
hubs.
StockX.
So is the one there's one in Atlanta, right? So there's authenticators in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. So then they could do something. But what I'm saying, like when I first went back in the day, it was one in Detroit.
Just one city.
It's like they're not gonna fly somebody like, yo, we heard this crazy authenticator in New York, we're gonna fly him to Detroit to live here. Like they're not gonna do
in
that.
this day and age though. That they would probably do it. Like if some random app started up, you had money to like fund it. One of the biggest things that I would do is I would try to find the best authenticator like StockX, offer them more money than they make and try to get them nowadays. But like back then fakes weren't as prevalent and as good as they are now.
I think that's
they were
great,
good, but not like they always progressively get better.
Like I said, I probably should be able to remember, but I'll make sure to leave a link to Blake's video on that. But I think that is a very, very important video because I would put you in the category of somebody who is a regular viewer because I ain't gonna lie. If something happens to StockX and I say, yo, what the fuck, StockX? They're gonna DM me. Shit, Josh Luber used to be like, yo, we're gonna get Tony. When I got my account hacked, Josh was like, Tony, we're gonna figure it out, whatever. But like a regular person, they're not gonna.
Yeah. So my channel is pretty small. I didn't have any like crazy big videos.
I'm saying I would still put that in the category of if you're out there and you ever got scammed and you got some real proof of something, then they might look into it. You know what I'm saying?
And I think like personally, and this isn't with shoes necessarily, but if you're trying to approach something, you've got to approach it like the right way. Yeah. And you might still not get the result that you want. Like just because you handle it well, you still might not get it. But if you like send them a crazy DM or send them a crazy email, like I promise you're not going to get a refund. I promise. Like my email was written just like, I just tried to show the facts. I didn't try to like put any emotion into it, even though I was obviously like super fucking pissed.
All right, y'all. So I appreciate you, Harrison. Thank you for coming through and letting me expose you. You know what I'm saying? Blake, thank you for coming through. We'll definitely have to.
I'm going to wait for the clips of this to come out.
Yeah, the clips are going to be. I got some good headlines, man.